Go.
Okay, so powers of 10 are back today again. Just the only difference is today we're going to multiply by powers of 10. So we've done stuff like this before. It's a similar trick to what we've done other days. Can anybody talk its way through? If I want to do 2.6 times 10 to the third, can anybody manage that without my advice?
You do 2.6 times 1,000.
Okay, we could think about the 10 to the third being 1,000. How do you know 10 to the third is 1,000?
Because you just move 3 digits.
We go 3 digits that way. The 10 to the third means there's 3 zeros. If we do that out, you move. Then what do you think the final answer is?
2.6 thousand.
No? For an opinion? Let's talk about that answer for a second. If we do something like this, why did that take us astray? Everybody, what's
Because that'd be like, there has to be like 1 decimal place to like the left.
yeah? What would we do to this answer?
Shorter.
Yeah, how would we shorten it? We take away the zeros. If decimals have
that's
zeros
right.
at the end, we've been taking those away, and we'd be back to 2.6, and that can't be right, because if 2.6 is multiplying 1,000, it's definitely got to get bigger. It can't stay the same. So we need something that's definitely bigger than we came in with 2.6.
2006.
Yeah, how'd you do that?
I multiplied, well, I did just, I added 3 zeros to 2.6, but you had, since you multiplied, you had move the decimal over 1.
Yeah.
So I just moved it over once and took away the 0.
For multiplying with things like 1,000, we had learned a few days back that we want to move the decimal right. And that used to be based on the zeros. Today, we don't really need to write that out. We could, it doesn't hurt us to write that out, but it's not necessary. What could we move today based on? How could we know that we're going to move 3 places without even writing this out?
3?
What's it called?
Power.
The power. What is it also called? Power is also called another word for power.
Actually, exponent.
Exponent. So whether you call it a power or an exponent, it doesn't matter. But if we have 10, anybody remember what the 10's called?
Base.
Base. So if 10's the base, and we're supposed to be multiplying, the power is going to tell you just how many spaces to move. So this 2.6 with the 10 to the third, we're just going to move right 3 spots, and that's going to get us 2,600. So 3.4 times 10 to the fifth, if you wanted to write out what 10 to the fifth is, you could, but it's not really necessary. Just take the decimal, and we're going to go right 5 spaces, because there's a power of 5. Somebody, if you're going to write 5 spaces, what's that going to look like? That's close. You've got the right length of the thing. The 3 is there. We are in the 300,000 zone, but you didn't quite.
340,000.
It'll be 340,000. The 3 and the 4 are going to be next door neighbors forever. And then we'll get all the zeros to be next door neighbors. When we're looking to slide right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 3, 4 stays up front, and then we'll stack all the zeros to the back. Question about those two? This one I wrote a little differently, but it's still the same thing. Instead of telling you what power of 10 it is, I just wrote million. So you just need to know stuff about million. What's million mean?
Like 10%.
Million means 6. So that's 6th power. How do we know million means 6th power?
6 zeros.
There's 6 zeros in million. So when it says million, we're looking to move 6 positions. Let me make a small change to that. I'll make the original problem 2.74. But if we go 2.74, then our job is to move 6 spaces now. What's that going to look like?
$2,740,000.
Agreed. That 274 is going to stay in a stack up at the front. And if we move 6 positions, 1, 2 moves get us to the end. 4 more moves is going to make us 4 empties. And then we're going to comma our way back. Here's another way you could do it. When we read numbers, you always read like the place value family at the comma. This is 2,740,000, like he said. If it's 2 million here, it should be 2 million there. This was 2 million, so it should start off 2 comma. That would be another way to just double check you're in the right spot. 1.7 billion, same kind of thing. Billion means a count of how many zeros? None. So we need to move 9 positions. So take the 1.7's decimal, move 9 positions for billion. What's that going to look like? Even if you don't quite know how to read it until we write it, just what numbers are toward the front? 1, 7 is going to stick at the beginning. 1 and 7 are neighbors forever. And then how many zeros in a big giant stack? 8 zeros. Because if we move 9 spots, 1 move gets us to the end. We've got 8 more moves to make 8 more zeros. Then we could worry about commas. Commas start from the right every 3. So bump, bump, bump. Then once the commas are in there, it's a little more comfortable to read it. It's going to be, yeah, we always say those place value words at the commas. So that's 1,700,000,000, and that's all we need to say. And then we could square that up. If this had 1 billion, this should go 1 comma to get that billion thing. Last one's a little quirky. Why is it a little quirky on the last one? I threw a fraction in. So if I throw a fraction in, you're first going to have to make a decimal. So 1/4, we might still know it. What's 1/4 as a decimal? 0.25. What if you don't know it? Box the top, divide it out. Or grab your chart, see if it's on there. Again, for the second time today, million means to move it 6. So what digits are toward the front? 125. They're neighbors over there, they're neighbors forever. And then how many zeros in a big stack at the back?
5.
Not 5?
4.
4. Because we're going to move the decimal twice just to get to the end this time. Then 4 more zeros. And then we need commas. So 3 spots comma, 3 spots comma. And that makes sense because if you read this, it's 1 million. And this had 1 million. So if that had 1 million, we should have 1 comma and then some more stuff. That's what we're doing today. Tomorrow would be a little bit of a review using, if you remember a week ago, we had a review paper, we did only half of it. And I said we'd use that review paper another day. Tomorrow is that day. So we'll show up, we'll turn in the homework, which is on 279. 279, we're going to do all of it. So tomorrow we'll show up, we'll turn in 279. I'll give you that review sheet back that we used a week ago. Do a little bit of a review, take a little bit of a quiz. There is not any kind of lesson or homework tomorrow. The quiz would have the stuff we've done this last like 4 or 5 lessons, something like that. Question about anything? We could put that on.